peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Today, Kenya is faced with a dilemma. A dilemma caused by succession politics of 2022. A country beaten by forces of peace, unity, against forces of impunity, bad politics, and tribal politics. The good forces of peace, unity, national reconciliation, led by President Uhuru Kenyatta, want to live a united, prosperous, one person, one nation, one country called Kenya. The bad forces led by Deputy President William Ruto want to live a divided, broken, damaged, dismembered Kenya without unity of purpose. Kenya today stands at cliffhanger politics. A cliffhanger politics of Machiavellian nature, where at night we praise the devils. During the daytime, we praise the leaders. We go back at night, damage the leadership. That's where Kenya is today. Whichever divide you are, there is only one way out. One way out of this quagmire is to stick to a redemption strategy. Any conflict resolution expert on this panel, like Professor Onyari, will tell you the only way out to save this nation from sinking to the another chaos is to bring out the 9 points of the BPI. All of you know the 9 points of BPI. They touch national ethos, national bad elections. It is a cocktail of disaster that the two leaders saw that it made them to shake hands and to bring it to the table. That for Kenya to conduct another election in this country without cleaning the national electoral mechanisms, the disaster will be worse than it was before. That for Kenya to go without national healing, reconciliation, accountability, restitution, reparation, truth-telling, forgiveness, we are staring at a disaster if we don't do a reconciliation now and never. It is now and never. Embarking on an early campaign has brought us to where we are. President Uhuru Kenyatta told people to concentrate on nation building. We abandoned the nation building ventures. We have gone on personal crusade ventures. We have gone on the same path where we believe we glorify corruption and glorify many things that are not glorifiable. It is sad, therefore, for my people of Kenya. It is also a call to the people of Kenya. Either they choose to go with the redemption strategy or they perish. The choice remains the choice of the people of Kenya. If you want to go with a redemption strategy of Raila, Odinga, and Uhuru Kenyatta, of uniting this nation, that so be it. If you want to go with obsession of 2022 politics, even when there is no referee, and even when there is no competitor, yet the choice is yours. But at the end of the day, the citizens of this country are tired. If you don't see the fatigue that has come amongst the citizens who are being used as wheelbarrow pushers, who are being used as machines that will break in a day and you don't have any spare part to repair it, but it was done for PR, it is up to you. Do you empower people to push a wheelbarrow, or you empower people with knowledge? During this COVID-19, Rwanda, as a country that was besieged by the same disease that we see here, the disease of a creation of a hustler versus a dynasty. It is not different from the disease of a Tutsi versus a Hutu. You are not seeing what I'm seeing. Oh ye Kenyans, believe me, believe in me. You are not seeing what I'm seeing. You have created a narrative of a hustler versus a dynasty. It is like a Tutsi versus a Hutu versus a Tutsi. Look ye ahead. Look ye ahead in the horizon and see what is coming in 2022. It will be the battle of those that you want to eliminate against those who will be defending themselves. If you don't take my notes here, I will carry my dust. As the Bible said, go away with my dust. Because I see, from my vision, I can see we are on a wrong path. We have about to cross the red line. We are creating sections. We are fragmenting a state. We are dismembering a state. We are creating hurtling. Our train is hurtling towards one word. And that one word is conflict. That one word, my panel, is conflict. We better stop the train hurtling towards conflict and stop it now. Thank you.
to you. Glad you joined us this morning. I do hope that you had a wonderful weekend. And for those who took their time to celebrate love yesterday, I trust that you're able to, have a good time with the loved ones there. The day is the 15th of February 2021. My name is Miriam Ogutu, and of course the show is Good Morning Africa. And joining me on the panel this morning is Engineer Victor Ngatia from Nakuru. Engineer, good morning.
Morning to you, Miriam.
Nice to have you on the show this morning. And also we are joined by Kidi Imwaga, a lawyer from Nairobi. Kidi, a very good morning to you.
Good morning, Miriam, and good morning to our viewers.
All right, very well. And also we are joined by Javan Karanja, a journalist from Nanyuki and also a political analyst. Javan, a very good morning to you.
Thank you. A very good morning to you, Miriam. Good morning to our viewers wherever they are watching us from. And good morning to Engineer and the Kidi Mwanga. Thank you for having me on the show. This is Good Morning.
It is a pleasure. And of course, we shall start our show with some bad news. I think by now we all know that Garissa Senator and the chairperson of the Building Bridges Initiative Task Force, Yusuf Haji, has died. The family has confirmed. Garissa Senator Yusuf Haji passed away at the age of 80 years. The career administrator and former cabinet minister died at the Aga Khan Hospital in Nairobi on Monday morning after a long illness. His family has confirmed he had been flown in from Turkey on Saturday, where he had been since December for treatment. A family spokesperson said Haji had multiple body organ failure. And before his admission to hospital last year, Haji had a hip injury in his house. Since then, according to the family, he has had to be admitted in hospitals. Up to last year, he served as the chairman of the Building Bridges Initiative Task Force. He is the father of the Director of Public Prosecutions, Nuruddin Haji, and he served also as a district commissioner and a provincial commissioner for long in the old constitution. He also served as a cabinet minister of defense from 2008 to 2013 under the Grand Coalition government of retired President Mwai Kibaki and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Haji also briefly served as a Minister of Internal Security and for Provincial Affairs in 2012. Now, top government officials already have flocked the Aga Khan Hospital to condole with the family as burial arrangements were being made. His Janaza prayers are set for today at 4 p.m. in South Sea Mosque, and thereafter Haji's burial will be done at the Langata Muslim Cemetery later on today. So I'll just start with you, Engineer Victor. How do you remember former Garissa Senator Yusuf Haji?
Oh, very unfortunate, and of course, may I pass my condolences to the family and to the country at large. Maybe if you didn't know, I did not hear you mention that when I was growing up, Senator Yusuf Haji was my PC. By then he had provincial commissioners in Nakuru. And I fondly remember him as a guy who was quite tough in whatever he said had to be done on the ground. I was a young boy then, but I think I identify with the guy very well. I would never forget that face of his. I think anytime, anywhere I would see it and I would know it without, just much thought. But that said, I think also we have seen what kind of person he has been. And one of the topics we are discussing today about the BPI, I think he was party to the document, it was part of the commissioners. I think even up and above him being a senator, I think he has, even as a gene in this country, like the DPP, who came out very tough. And I think we are very lucky as a country to have had the guy. I may not have any other dark fires. Many a times when somebody is dead, they only talk of the good fires. But off my mind, I don't remember anything very dark about the guy. And it's unfortunate, but again, death is cruel. It comes at the least of time, when you least expect it, So my condolences to the family. I wish him well, and I'm sure it is well. There's nothing much to say. It's death,
All right, very well. Yes, indeed. I remember him as the PC for Rift Valley for a very long time, also growing up. That's how I knew him for a very long time. Kidi Mwanga, good morning, and how do you remember a former now Senator of Garissa, Yusuf Haji?
Miriam, thank you very much. It's a sad moment for the country, having lost a very gallant son of this republic. Senator Yusuf Haji, I remember him first as the friend of my late old man because they were buddies in the days of Nyayo, Chama cha Baba na Mama. Then afterwards, I also remember him very fondly when I appeared before him during the BBI task force hearing at the KICC. And I said, my name is Kidimwaga and I come from Kano. I remember him posting me and asking me, did you say Kanu or Kano? And all of us in the hall burst into laughter. And when I said, oh, Kanu, and well. So I also remember Senator Yusuf Haji when we were at Bomas of Kenya during the BBI 1. And Senator Murkomen had created a ruckus that their side of Tangatanga was being sidelined. All of us felt that Senator Murkomen was showing disrespect to the president. And we told him to his face that he could not proceed addressing the gathering as he was doing because we felt that was without respect. It took intervention of Senator Haji to let Senator Murkomen proceed. So this is a man who loved this country so dearly. This is a man who was willing to embrace people who disagreed with him. He was a man who was a pioneer administrator. He is a man that this country shall dearly miss. Thank you, Media.
Okay, very well said. Thank you so much. And we all remember that moment at the first launch of the BBI draft report there at the Bomas of Kenya and the fracas you're talking about. And Jevan Karanja, good morning to you. And how do you remember former Senator of Garissa?
Thank you very much, Miriam. And good morning to our viewers once more. And I remember, first of all, let me send my condolences to the family and to the all Kenyans who are mourning the leader and also a person who loved unity of this country, because we know that he was the chairman of the task force, the BBI, and he ensured that all Kenyans presented their views through all mediums, and nobody was denied a chance. Therefore, this is a man who was dedicated to ensure that this country is united and that this country will not go any more time as we did in 2007. Therefore, he's a man who was determined to ensure that he leaves a country not only for this generation, but also for the future generations, a country that they will be proud of. As a senator, he has done his job, and he is quite a good role model, not only to the people in the party that he comes from, but all across the political divide. Everybody was happy of his servant leadership, and that is why you see all people from all political divides, they are celebrating his life because he really brought them all together. And as Kidi has said, he is a man who accompanied a different opinion. And that is what leadership calls for, because when you don't have that political tolerance, then things go in the bad direction. Therefore, he's a man that we'll dearly miss. And he has left us a seed under the DPP, who is quite doing a very good job. Therefore, we are happy, and may he so rest in peace.
Mm-hmm. Very well. And we're also joined by Professor Jared Onyari. Professor, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Good morning, Miriam and the rest of the panelists. I'm very far away from the land of the Ambagusi. I'm still at home.
Okay, very nice. I hope that...
So let me just also have this word to echo, that death is an enemy. It robs us, our loved ones. It is cruel. It has robbed us, Senator Yusuf Haji, a distinguished citizen number one. He loved this country. He ensured that this country remains together. He passed some values to his children, which you can see that the likes of one of the sons, like Nordin Haji, the director for public prosecution. He has stood, and those values you don't get are being taught when they are young, and this is exactly what we see in Haji Yusuf. See how Miriam, he was the chairman of the task force. See how the other senior heads of this country will just disown. This is one man, even if you offended him, he was not very combative. So as a country, we will miss him. He has given us the very best gift of BPI. And I heard Kenyans that as we were interested, that the best thing we can do to him is to ensure that the PPI goes through. Let me just also join the family by saying that may God give them peace that surpasses all understanding as we mourn and grieve.
Very well said. And as Punchline Africa family, we do send our condolences to the family and friends of former Garissa Senator Yusuf Haji, and of course he will be remembered. And as I said there earlier, his janaza prayers are set for 4 p.m. today in South Sea Mosque, and thereafter Haji's burial will be done at the Langata Muslim Cemetery in line with his faith. So our prayers continue towards the family there. So now let's just turn our attention to what is happening across the country. And we know yesterday was, we are coming from a weekend, so a lot happened. And so on the front pages of the Standard newspaper this morning, 2022 mad rush for new parties, election fever, with only 17 months to the next polls. A record 1,000 party names have been reserved at the Registrar of Political Parties as individuals prepare to reap from demand for nomination certificates. Last year I was covering the elections in Nigeria, and I was shocked to learn there were 74 presidential candidates who ran for that election. And I might have been too quick to get shocked, because now we have 1,000 parties that are waiting, the names have been reserved with the registrar of political parties there. Victor Nyachae, our democracy is, I don't know, is it growing or what is happening here? What is the mad rush with the registration of the new parties?
Miriam, I like the fact that you're shocked because you're used to the three and the extremely combative two-horse race in Kenya. And when you went to Algeria, you found, I don't know how many of those. But Kenya as well, I think from where we're coming from, those who learned politics before us really abused, the advantage that they had then, before everybody else woke up. They already had known exactly how the parties are making money for them. Remember, we are coming from almost a single party system, and then we went to multi-party. And then those who really started or initiated the growth really reaped big. And I remember when we started learning that people are reaping from political parties. I think it's just the other year, 2013, is when people started realizing, we are party hopping and we are paying so much money and people are making a lot of money in these parties. So currently, I may not necessarily agree, in as much as it is democracy, I don't think it's democracy that is driving the growth of political parties. Mm-hmm. I think it is business oriented. We're looking at how we are going to make money in our own democracy, in the sense that everybody else believes that they have to lead. So if you look at it, I think it's messing our environment. We think we are becoming very democratic, but at the end of the day, yes, the space that has been created for politics.
Okay, very well, Kidi. Engineer, they're saying this has nothing to do with democracy, but as we speak right now, about 77, that is the number of political outfits currently registered by the Registrar of Political Parties, but we also have 1,000 more party names that have been reserved at the Registrar of Political Parties. Is it democracy, or are we taking this multi-party democracy to just another level?
Miriam, the right to form a political party, for the right to associate, the right to conscience, and is one of those things that is greatly being abused in this country, because it is done in a manner that stands, defies all the logic why we have those things, those rights in the first place. You realize that the right to associate, politically should also go hand in hand with sound political and ideological grounding. You realize that some of these issues that we confront are clearly cut out. So that is either this or that. You, for instance, disagree with the rights of the LGBTQ community, or you think that you, as they call themselves, that you believe in family values, that you believe in a small government, or you believe in big government, that you think there should be government regulation in business, or you think that business should be left to determine itself through the forces of demand and supply. So that you realize that when these 1,000 parties are mushrooming, it is because it is motivated not by ideology, but by personal and political interests. So that people are looking at a possibility of fallout in major parties, and therefore they look at their parties as a safe pair of hands, meaning that these parties would be special purpose vehicles whose only motivation is to take people into certain offices, but then those parties are bereft of ideology, are bereft of principle. Those parties are just that, special purpose vehicles. Thank you. And well, that is a threat to our multi-party democracy.
Okay, so it's not an addition, or we're not taking advantage of the multi-party democracy. Instead, you're saying it's watering down the whole essence of multi-party democracy. Chairman, what's your opinion on the mushrooming, the record number of parties that we see now being waiting to be registered there at the political party registrar?
Thank you, Miriam. And the purpose that we have political parties is so that we can have something that is founded on ideological and something that can be used not only in this generation, but a party that can sustain on its agenda and manifesto to ensure that they bring the political agenda into something that can develop this country. As we saw in the 1960s and the 1950s, when we had political parties being formed as we are fighting the colonialists, we had political parties that were founded on the ground of ensuring that we liberate our people, we have freedom, and we have independence. Today, the political parties that we have, ask even those party leaders, why do you have this political party? They don't know even the agenda of this political party. And some of these parties, they just look alike. They use the same colors, the same slogans. And it also shows that we are devoid of understanding of why we need these political parties. Therefore, to me, these more political parties coming in board, this is just an erosion of the democracy and the multi-party, the democracy that we enjoy, because at the end of the day, Kenyans will not have a substance when it comes to having political party to champion for the agenda, because these small parties, some of these parties, they don't even get 2 or 3 MCAs. Therefore, they are just there to make money and some profits for the party owners. And it's high time as a country we have political parties that can sustain years, that can be founded on ideology, so that they can be there even for generation to come. But the problem that we have, the political parties that we have in this country, they are individually owned. Therefore, when the party leader or the party owner leaves the office, the party dies. They die with their party. Therefore, that is a problem that we have. Unless we have ideologically founded political parties, that is the only way we'll have a strong political party, strong multi-party democracy, because we know this party, if they don't form the government, they act and they check and balance the government of the day. Therefore, we can't expect even an opposition that is strong when they have this small party. As we see, these small parties, they will be swallowed by other parties because of their interest. They can be bought and they can be misused because they don't have the financial capacity, they don't have roots, they don't have anything. They can be misused by those in government, those in opposition, by the civil societies. Therefore, it is high time that we come with 3 or 4 good political parties, and that will come to an end. That will come to a realization, or to be a reality, if we do away with this regional and the tribal and the class and the color politics, and we concentrate on a national agenda, a national politics. That is the only way we'll be able to have a national political parties. But these small parties will remain because they come from regions, they are tribal, they are based in some small clans. Therefore, unless we do away and we feel like we are Kenyans, that we be patriotic enough, that is the only day we'll be able to celebrate the gains of a multi-party democracy. That is the day we'll be celebrate having leaders of integrity into office through these political parties. Thank you.
Very well. I can't wait to see the symbols of these parties because there's so many. They might run out of these symbols. Professor, I don't know what you make of this.
Miriam,
yes.
Miriam, I'm not persuaded by any of the panelists who have said it, Miriam. That one tells you what the kind of democracy we have. And if you have been an actor of politics in this country, Miriam, even 1,000 is a small number. They should be more than that. Because the political parties, you call them major, Miriam. You know, I have participated in a political party, Miriam, the so-called political parties. I have won a ticket and I have not given a ticket. So you tell me I don't form my political party? You tell me I don't form my political party? Miriam, something which the Constitution does not disallow, Miriam, and that's exactly what Kitty says. That people form political parties, Miriam. Even in America, Miriam, do you know we have almost over 100 parties? The only major ones, Miriam, which people think that is Republican Democrats, it's not the case. Even in Britain, it is conservative and the Labour Party, but that's not the case. We have got many more political parties. When you see more than 1,000 political parties, Miriam, then it tells you something about the democracy. And we are not going to gang people. We are not going to gang people to be in these political parties of ideology. Which ideology are you talking about, Miriam? You see, Jubilee is the ruling party. What has happened? Why are people running away, going to more? It tells you that Miriam, people in this country, they don't have an ideology. When even we started from where Kanu, the shortest queue, Miriam, was pronounced the wrongest queue at the end of the day. This is a case, Miriam, where those tribal parties, as Javan has said, Miriam, they say the one who is going to get the ticket is Miriam. The one who is going to get that one is Javan. The one who is going to get is Nyachae. So, Miriam, those of us whom we want to practice democracy and participate in the politics of this country, what do we do? You just go to the altar and you are snared. And imagine, Miriam, you spend a huge amount of money to mount a campaign to be nominated or to be a candidate of a political party. And you don't get it, Miriam. So me, I see it as a way forward. When we will have those ones, even as many as we can, then we can be able to solve up. But at the moment here, Miriam, you cannot tell people that let us have two political parties when there is no democracy, Miriam.
Yeah, right. I totally understand what you're saying, Professor, and of course you're talking from experience there, so I totally understand. Thank you so much. So now let's just turn our attention to page 6 and 7 of the Standard newspaper, and I'll start with the first story. They are saying Ruto heckled in Isiolo as leaders snub event. Youth chanting pro-BBI slogans heckled Deputy President William Ruto when he made a stopover in Isiolo town after completing his church fundraiser event at Ngaremara Market on Saturday. The event was snubbed by local leaders. I think we do have that video. So let's just take a look and then we can have this conversation. Engineer Victor Gatia, I'll start with your reaction to that booing of Deputy President William Ruto there in Isiolo.
You know, Miriam, politics of this country is very interesting. If you clearly look at the video, at times I wonder, are they reacting against the DP or are they reacting against the content or the subject of discussion? So at times it will appear almost like it's just hate, you know. But I can hear some sounds of BBI, meaning maybe they support the BBI. If you listen to the DP, of course, his sentiments are that he does not support the BBI. So the politics are such that they would want to drown him in whatever he's trying to tell them in regard to rejecting the BBI. So the statement is clear. That's what they're up to. But then again, let's go back to the fabric of this country. I mean, this is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. This is the presidency. So as far as I'm concerned, I think whether we are doing politics or we are campaigning or we're trying to pass an information, I think we are doing it wrong. Something is amiss. There is no respect. But then again, it's not that the DP himself has respect for other people, because how it comes out is like he personally does not respect his president. So there is this push and shove, and it's clear. So if you don't respect, it's automatic that some people will automatically again disrespect you. And I'm seeing that happening across. And it's not just the MPs, it's not just the senators. You will see reactions of people who are aligned to Tanga. Many a times they would actually even throw words at the president, just to show a sense of disrespect and carelessness, in regard to the presidency. And I'm amazed that we are oblivious of the fact that in 2022 there will be a new president. Will he really have that respect that everybody else wishes to have as a president? So there is a problem, but let's discuss it. There is a problem.
All right, very well, quite interesting. But I think the best part of that, not the heckling, there was no incident of any sort of violence that happened, because a lot of times when there are opposing teams there, but you see the majority there were perhaps BBI supporters, but we didn't see any form of violence there. So I think that usually precedes such chants and all that. So I think that is a good thing. Ekedi, what do you make of this booing of Deputy President William Ruto?
Well, the booing of the Deputy President William Ruto remains unfortunate, and it is something that, of course, should and must be condemned by everyone of goodwill, irrespective of political formation or affiliation. That, having said that, I must hasten to add that the good book says that, and you shall reap what you sow. We saw William Ruto not many days ago, through his proxies like Isaac Mwaura and co, organizing goons in other places to disrupt the political convoys of people that are, perceived to be opposed to him. And then secondly, William Ruto has attempted to buttress the notion, which of course is a lie, that he controls Mount Kenya. And therefore, that demonstration by that crowd at that point in time served to prove to him that, he cannot go to central Kenya and sabotage the president behind the president's back and imagine that he would have his way. That makes the burden of responsibility upon him to make sure that he learns to conduct his politics decently, maturely, and with restraint. Thank you.
All right, very well. Thank you so much, Kidi. We're joined by Dr. David Matanga from the Political Command Center. Doctor, very good morning to you.
Good morning, the panel. Good morning, Miriam. Good morning. Welcome back, Professor Nyali, from the bereavement which you had, and your family, and welcome back, sir. And the panel, Welcome, Engineer Ngatia from Nakuru. Welcome, lawyer from the CBD. Our friend from Nanyuki, and my friend from Meru. Good morning, and all of you. Miriam, thank you very much. I just came into this program today, this morning, just to say a few words as regards the former senator of Garissa. And when that time comes, I don't know who is in the middle, who was going to speak next. Call upon me to say some serious words. The interactions, the amount of encouragement he gave me on the cases of ICC, by then the love and the support for President Uhuru Kenyatta, as people who look at the legacy and who promote the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta, we must also give the strength to the people who have supported us in this legacy formations. The son with my great friend, the DPP, when he was going to study in Cardiff, I met them at Victoria Station in London. We had a coffee. By then, that was during Moi days. And that is how I knew the senator. Very great guy. I was taken by another gentleman called Mohammed. And Mohammed is from Bungoma, who is related to the Haji. So he said, no, let's go and see one of the ministers, deputy ministers from the PC of Nakuru, the one you hear about. He's passing through London, he's taking his son. So we went to Victoria Station. It's a big station like Nairobi. It is as big as the whole entire city, one station in London. So we met. From there, I said, this guy has got very good things for the country. But thank you very much for the channel. Let me listen in, then I will come in later.
All right, very well, Doctor. Thank you so much. And we're also joined by Douglas Kirimi. Douglas, a very good morning to you.
A very good morning to you, Miriam Ogutu, and also my co-panelist, and also Dr. David Matsanga at the Political Command Center in London. Thank you.
All right, very well. So we already had our condolences earlier on of the death of Garissa Senator Yusuf Haji, who died earlier today, and his burial will be later on at 4. He'll be buried at the Langata Muslim Cemetery there. So Doctor has said it, but I think he'll come back later and give a detailed condolences there. So thank you so much. So right now we were looking at the heckling that happened there of Deputy President William Ruto over the weekend in Isiolo. Jevan Karanja, how do you respond to that?
Miriam, that was let me say that we condemn such kind of happenings, because at the end of the day, if we grow those kind of politics of intolerance, a politics where someone with a contrary opinion is not allowed to have a fair hearing or a fair ground to air his views, then as a country we are heading in the wrong direction. But all said and done, the deputy president is a man who is known to be disrespectful. He has been clapping when his cronies are insulting the president. But when he wakes up to speak or to address the audience, he has never condemned those kind of utterances that comes from his those people who support him, especially when they were in Msambweni, when Isaac Mwaura was saying bad things against the president, when Mike Sonko, the former Nairobi governor, was uttering some insults to the president. The deputy president has not condemned such occurrences. We saw what Silvana Sosoro did in Kisii. Therefore, these politicians have breeded, they have come up, they have given a good breeding ground for this kind of politics. That is why it is coming back to them. It is reflecting back when they goes to political rallies. And we saw it even happening yesterday in Nyandarua, in a place called Orjololok, when Deputy President was passing there. There was chants of BBI and President Uhuru Kenyatta to be respected. Therefore, at the end of the day, they are the people who provoked these kind of reactions. And Miriam, I usually say that nobody has monopoly of violence. Nobody has monopoly of interfering with others people's business. When you do that, everybody has his own supporters. And when you provoke the former prime minister, when you provoke the president, his supporters will come and they will show you that they also have the numbers, they can also do better. We saw it happen in Githurai when Isaac Mwaura interrupted the meeting by former prime minister. We saw the replica that happened to deputy president when he visited Bama. Therefore, this politics, it is by all leaders. If they want this not to happen in their meeting, the best they can do is to stop their colonies, to stop their people, their surrogates, the people who follow them, from issuing insults, to be respectful. And that is only way people will understand and have intolerance, because the supporters read from their leaders. But all said and done, the conversation of the BBI is getting momentum, is spreading like a bushfire. That is why you see everybody where these leaders goes, there are people who support the BBI. The problem with these people in the Hasoras notion, they bring this kind of bad language. They bring bad language that provoke the reaction of the people, that makes these people be bitter. That is why you see even a place like Nyandarua, a place that is known to be peaceful, people came out fire blazing to stop the deputy president. When he was speaking, they were chatting the BBI, because at the end of these people are coming to destroy the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. They are coming to destroy the BBI that tries to unite all Kenyans. That is why Kenyans of goodwill are stopping them. They are telling them that is not the right way. Therefore, all said and done, as a country, we must allow people to have contrary views and to have political tolerance, but people should be respectful, and this must start with the political leaders. And they should stop their supporters from disrupting other people, because if they don't do that, it will come to their meetings, and it's not a good thing as we move to 2022 election, because we want peace, and that is what BBI proposes, peace and unity and love of our country. Thank you.
Very well, Professor.
Miriam, thank you for that good observation, and I want to agree with my fellow panelists. We have said here, Miriam, and we say the drums of war has been beaten, have been sounded. That's what we said. We took some time last year discussing about that, Miriam. And now you can see, Miriam, that the politics of intolerance are coming. And from where I sit, Miriam, I always tell these guys, Miriam, you cannot shout on somebody and then you go to their background and you accept to be received well. You cannot oppose something which is dear to the people, and the people knows that this is the truth, Miriam. BBI is taking the country forward, and Miriam, when you go to their areas, what do you expect, Miriam? If you want to oppose BBI, and this is the kind of words, Miriam, which I'm telling the deputy president and his lieutenants. If you are opposing it, oppose it genuinely. Have reason to oppose it, even if you don't agree with that. We can see, but when you see, you know, Miriam, you rattle the snake will bite you. So from where I stand, you saw what they did to Papa Nikitrai, and I said this. You can see what's happening. You see what they did to Papa at Bama, trying to carry a wheelbarrow with this one. So if they want us to have the politics of hygiene, let us speak the truth for or against BBI. But if you don't, you are going to see more of what we have said. We have seen. How I pray that, Miriam, even if I don't agree with you, let me allow you, you speak your nonsense, which you think is best. Then I go, and then I have got the opportunity to rebuttal what you have said. I hope the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya Dr. William Samoei Ruto is not an ordinary, just an activist. He must carry himself to the decorum of that office. That is the risk we expect and demand of him. You know, he is the principal assistant to the president. He is supposed to be assisting the president. And Miriam, he has decided to be an opposition. In fact, this is what is agitating people and annoying people. What's getting from the people, as much as I'm tempted to blame them,
All right, Professor, their signal is not very good this morning. Okay, very well. So I'll move to Douglas before I get to Doctor and get his thoughts on this. Douglas, the heckling that happened there, Deputy President in Isiolo. And he tried to tell people about these projects that the government was undertaking in Isiolo, saying most of them are near completion. The road from the junction of the Kenya Wildlife Service National Park in Igembe North, connecting to Kina and Garbatula, will be completed soon, while the construction of the B9 road from Isiolo town to Modogashe will start soon. And people didn't want to hear any of that story that he was giving there. They continued chatting, BBI is the way to go. Douglas, what do you make of all this?
Thank you, Miriam. And also we need to understand that the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya and already used the heckling and booing political mobilization to continue besmirching the people that are against this bid, and also to show that these people are in Mount Kenya region have no support. Anyone outside the Deputy President's camp that come to Mount Kenya, they used to be bought and also echoed in these meetings so that they cannot stop when chants of Ruto would be renting the hair. These people who now paint this as a national narrative that Ruto is the only person, is the only leader that is wanted in Mount Kenya region. But now the tide has turned. We have seen that people have taken it beyond Mount Kenya. People as far as Isiolo, people as far as Olkarau, people all over are going now and telling Deputy President the truth, that you have been campaigning now for the last 3 years for president, but your time now, your eyes have come to an end and we don't want to hear any of that. Remember, Miriam, it is the same age that we are in. We are in 21st century, the age of social media and the age where information is disseminated at a high speed. When he's in Mombasa, he talks bad about government projects and the administration of Uhuru Kenyatta. He talks evil about the SGL. He talks evil about every other road project that the president has done for the people of Coastal Province. Remember, he is the same man who would tell the people of Mombasa that the Dongokundu bypass is not necessary to the people of Mombasa, which has transportation and also movement of people and goods in Mombasa County and other places. But the people of Isiolo can see that the hypocrisy that is in Deputy President William Ruto. But when it is convenient for him, he can continue now and mention the projects that they have done with President Uhuru Kenyatta. I am on record saying that there is no deputy president in the history of our world, the way we know it, that has gone ahead to run for office using their predecessors or their president who they served under, the reforms and everything that they did under that president to run for office. Deputy President is a man that is bereft of a manifesto, a man without a focus, without even an economic program that he can be able to revive the economy of the Republic of Kenya. This is a man that has gone ahead to continue propagating with barometrics because he has no concrete agenda for the people of Kenya. The people of Isiolo are woke and also can see that. In as much as I condemn the echoing of Deputy President William Ruto, he is the man that has been using the same political mobilization tool to continue besmirching other opponents and also destroying the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. When you mention President Uhuru Kenyatta near his troops in his meetings, they are going to destroy your language and also besmirch you and also boo you and echo you. This is a man that started this echoing, funding these people. The latest one was in Gedurai, where he paid 500 shillings to each and every acre that was buying at the right on Raila Odinga. But now the tide has turned. It is his time to receive. He is on the receiving end. We cannot sit here and pretend, Miriam, that as a people we condemn what Deputy President is doing, but what is being done to Deputy President William Ruto, but we cannot condemn what he is doing to other politicians, Miriam. Again, if today I say that if I run and stand for president in this nation and go to Mount Kenya, deputy president is going to send the troops there and people, paid people so that they can echo me. Let deputy president receive what he has been giving sons and daughters of Kenya. Let him receive what he has been paying people to continue doing. As much as I condemn what has been done to him, he has been receiving this, he has been giving this, and also Raila has been receiving the same, Kalonzo has been receiving the same, every other Kenyan has been receiving this vengeance from Deputy President William Ruto. We need to condemn him on the same note and tell him to shape up or ship out. If he doesn't want to run a clean presidential campaign, he can as well go and farm chicken in Sugoi, Miriam. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Doctor. Is DP reaping what he's been sowing?
Thank you very much, viewers. As you know, today, two great sons of the Republic of Kenya have died. One died last week. One died this morning at 5 a.m. These are the people who have given us the direction, the vision, the input, the impetus to move this country forward. First, Honorable Simeon Nyachae was a great son of this nation called Kenya. Second, Honorable Senator Yusuf Haji, a great peacemaker, a man who loves peace, a man who loves unity, a man who has the courage to say as we say, a man who talks without fear, a man who could stand up and tell people exactly which direction should go, things should go. A PC in Nakuru, where Ngatia is, he helped to bring National Youth Service. It was the likes of Yusuf Haji who instilled discipline. Before you go to your university, you must do some time, 3 months in the National Youth Service. It is therefore very, very important as we sit here this morning in this extended good morning show, because we shall not have 11 o'clock show. The 11 o'clock show is going to be consumed. We don't have shows tonight at this today medium, because it is from barrio to barrio. We shall be broadcasting the barrio in Kisii, then return to broadcast the barrio in Nairobi at 4 p.m. So you can rearrange your programs. We don't have the 11 o'clock show. On such a day, we cannot stress ourselves with the same, the same obstacles that Yusuf Haji was telling people. The same obstacles of unity, lack of cohesion is what is making Ruto to speak the way he speaks. You can see for yourselves. And to summarize the words of all of you, what you have said, the man is a double speaker. The other day in Mombasa, he was pleasing those people by saying, this thing of SGR, this what? Yesterday in Kinango, in Nyan, he was saying it is tunajenga mabarabara. Is he? We might be, there is one thing, a disease. And the media knows my word, I don't want to say it. We might be dealing with a man who is on drugs. Side effects of some drugs. It might not be only cocaine. So if you had been in the UK, United Kingdom here, such people would be referred to psychiatric centers, for charge sheet of the head. We call it a charge sheet. A machine produce charge. Is this man normal? Ngatia, we might be dealing with somebody who has side effects of drugs. They could be very honorable drugs that you take at night so that your heart does not burst. You could be suffering from underlying other diseases. You know these drugs can make you be mad if you are not careful. If there are some that have very real bad side effects. Silent. Unaona mtu anaenda polepole, unasema huyu mtu anaenda wapi? Side effects. So let's reassess ourselves. You cannot tell a real lie like that. In people in Nyandarua, you know why people are getting fed up? Kirimi is not telling his audience why people are getting fed up and are changing the tune. Because the people know, few months ago, the same man was in the same area, opposing all these things, or purportedly saying, we have come to initiate a project. And the project, as soon as he reached Nairobi, the contractors ran away. Miriam, Professor Nyachae, and the others, Japan, Kidi, if I'm wrong, Kidi, you're a lawyer. Mtu anakuja kwako, anaomba pesa. Anasema, mtoto yangu hana shule. Mtoto yangu anaenda shule. Unatoa pesa zako. You go in your bank, you draw the money. And give him as a relative. A relative. It is only in Kenya where a relative come to say, wewe, enda kotini. If I'm wrong, you tell me. You can see all of you on the panel. Your eyes can show something like that has happened before. And let's not hide. Kirimi, if you are looking up, we could see your face. I don't know what you are reading down there, but we could see your face and know. It is someone has done that to you. Anywhere, and the Karanja, someone has done that to you. You anakwambia enda kwa polisi kama unataka. Then you ask yourself, Jamin, when I was giving you this money, there was no police. There was no police. Miriam, these are the obstacles of ethos, national ethos, which Haji was standing for, against, which were in 9 points that were given to Haji to correct. There is also a very serious thing in Kenya. When you give somebody your money, he has not gone to Mombasa. But when you call for the money back after about 2 months, he did not come in the office, he's busy, he's up country in Mombasa, he's on duty in Mombasa, he's clearing something in Mombasa. Hey, Professor, you have experienced something like that.
True.
And Ngatia, I believe you have come almost to blows with some people. You ask them, Miriam, you have done the same. Kiddy, you are growing up, you are going to see the same problem. Even your fellow lawyer. Advance him 20,000 shillings. And then you say, Chama. In Chama itself, Chama, there are people here, women who contribute 10,000, 20,000 per month towards their Chama. They are 50. If you contribute 10 per month, if you are 50 in Chama, that's 500,000 shillings. And there are people who go to this Chama and borrow, my sister-in-law needs some additional money for the campus first semester. So I will return in the second semester. When you go to his door, he says he's away in Naroko for 20 days. It is Kenya. And this is the legacy President Uhuru Kenyatta is fighting to restore ethos, national ethos. to have manners, to have good people who don't lie, to have leaders who don't lie, to have leaders who speak with good mouth. National ethos is one of the 9 points that Yusuf Haji went down fighting to bring. And I think because of that, the BBI will have a boost. Will have a boost because the man was saying it in the KICC. There is no other Kenya you have. You have one Kenya, one country. Ask us who have been refugees. Ask me, Matanga. Ask me and see how I've suffered. Ask me and see how your own land can be sold when you are watching. Ask me when your own wife can be killed when you are watching. Ask me when your own father can be killed when you cannot bury. Ask me. Then you think of your nation. Those who are not seeing, think of me. Look at the way. Ask me when I was having sunshine on every day without saying what time will I go to sunshine. I have to have sunshine given in piecemeals. You have to wear a jacket. Ask me. You have to wear a jacket because you are resettled in an area where you never thought you could be because of bad manners of a country. That's what the country produces, bad manners. When a country has bad manners, bad ethos, it produces a conflict. That's why President Uhuru Kenyatta is telling you, let's clean this mess. Then you go to the elections. If Ruto has got an agenda which is sellable to Kenyans, Walai ya Mungu, if there is unity, let him have it, isn't it? That will be the will of the people of Kenya. If Raila Odinga has got the agenda that he can sell and the people agree with him and they have given him the vote, let's move on. But today, to tell me you are sharpening your bangers, slashers, arrows, guns. Some of you are buying militia from across Uganda. They come to steal cattle as a rehearsal. And then they disappear back to Uganda. And then they are arrested there. Natembea said they were running towards West Pokot. Whose militia it is? Who is just running the militias in the capital? When you try that and when the president is telling you, please, let's first of all do a referendum, amend the constitution, and put there unity, safeguards, put in there a new electoral commission. Chebukati cannot hold an election. Chebukati cannot hold the next election. It is going to be very, 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 very volatile. The next election needs a tough, a neutral, a no-nonsense, a man who can say, hello, I don't care. You have abused people, I have disqualified you. Have you seen that? I'm talking as an editor today. I'm not going to talk as a man criticizing people. I'm now talking as an editor. The Electoral Commission has the mandate to disqualify you from an election. How many people in Kenya have been disqualified? Because of the actions during the campaign. You know, the campaign actions can disqualify you. The Electoral Commission has the right to nullify your candidate. If you go with a gun and start shooting up to threaten people, the Electoral Commission will charge you with an offense, take you, the police arrest you, you have that offense. There are laws in the Electoral Commission Has the Electoral Commission practiced any law? Gatia, you are in Nakuru. Has any law of the Electoral Commission ever worked?
I mean, comme ci, comme ça. Some have, some haven't. 50-50.
Yes, you see, very few. And the 50 they go for are very small, are the ones that are trivial, but they don't handle the tough ones of disqualifying the candidate. You know? For example, there is campaigning period. The Electoral Commission at the moment would have stamped its authority. You get my point? And the same, there is time. If you are talking about the BBI, yes. But if you are talking about 2022, we have not. That is the work of the Electoral Commission, not the president. You go in the Electoral Commission and yes?
Dr. Just to interject, but you know how Kenyans are crafty in just drawing a line between 2022 elections and BBI. If you listen to them, it doesn't matter for more direction or what side, they will actually talk about BBI, but the message they are passing is a message of 2022 elections. I mean, it's a smart way how people have crafted ways of communicating. If you listen to the DP in all his wheelbarrow or tanga meetings, he will discuss about development, just like we are calling him out on those ones. But if you listen to exactly what narrative he's passing, it's a 2022 campaign narrative. How do you draw the wedge? I mean, if you bring NCIC, you've seen how it has been very difficult for NCIC even to deal with, things to do with, it's called what? Maybe tribalism or whatever they would call their mandate. At times to draw a line, a politician will always say something and then tomorrow say, no, I was quoted out of context, and then bring a different narrative altogether that would actually mean exactly what he says today it means, but it meant something very different yesterday.
Okay.
I don't know if you get it, Matsanga.
Yes, I get the point. But there must be somebody to stamp authority.
Agreed.
And that's why BBI seeks to change that law, the electoral mechanism. You know, take for example, Miriam and the panel. If you had the South African model, would there be any quarrel in Kenya? Would there be anyone going for presidency? If we had the South African model, I bet there would be nobody going for presidency.
Yes.
For Kenya to be stable, remove that hyena position. Let's call it a hyena. Is it a hyena? No. I want to say something. A place that attracts a lot of flies. What is it? I don't want to say something wrong. A meat, big meat, that is rotten and the flies have come there. Literally speaking, I'm not saying the position of president in Kenya is the one that causes the worst difficulties for Kenyans during the elections. What can we suggest for Kenya, for example? I would suggest the South African model. If you want a peaceful Kenya, then the economy can grow beating Egypt. Bring the South African model. You are home and dry. You see Malema? Look at Malema in South Africa. He's a leader of opposition. My friend, he's recognized. Yes, he's recognized. But he voted and went home. Malema did not go to the streets and start saying, my vote was stolen. Did you see Malema say, my vote was stolen?
No.
Did you see anybody in South Africa to say, my vote was stolen? ANC one. Not because of anything, but because of the mechanism. And therefore I submit to this panel this morning, the mechanism of any electoral system is the one that delivers peace. And Uhuru Kenyatta cannot go home, sit peacefully, if he has not delivered and changed the electoral mechanisms of Kenya. The biggest worry that is worrying Mr. Ruto is very simple. It's very simple. Can I reveal it to you today?
Please.
Go ahead.
Is once the referendum takes place, a new shape takes place. Therefore, a new produces Omululu. What can I do? Omululu. I don't know what you call it in Kisi. Omululu. Towards Omululu. Or greed. Gluttonous. Lawyer, I don't know. You know when meat is being fried, you know the saliva feeling in the stomach. Saliva. Omululu. We call it Omululu. In my vernacular language, where my president yawns on TV. You know, we call it Omululu. I'm very sorry. I apologize on behalf of Uganda and on behalf of friends of Uganda, like you people on the panel in Nairobi. My president was very tired. So he opened up. And the age has caught up. So he has shown it to you that he needs Matanga to help. So he opened up. Thrice. You know? So this world is not our home. So, Omululu, you remove what can I call it?
The attraction.
Yes, there is something that if I don't get it, nobody will come near me. That is where the problem is. Haven't you seen where the problem is? The deputy president knows once the referendum is successful, the members of parliament now go back to say, aware of this. Now that we have done this, the kiddies are waiting with their pens to write. You know, kiddie, don't smile with ideas and die with them. Tell your friends some of these ideas that you are going to do. After the referendum, there will be a motion that we begin afresh. Haven't you seen the worry of this guy? Therefore, his dream for presidency might not be very good if it is put afresh. You know why he wants status quo? He wants status quo because that's why they were suggesting let's do the referendum after 2022 or together with the
elections.
Did you know why he was suggesting that? When you have voted for parliamentary system, are you going to go to election before using parliamentary presidential system?
Of course not.
How many laws are you putting in the country? Nyenye bado mulikuwa bado ona hiyo. Hiyo ndio kitu kifanya this man cannot sleep at night, I'm telling you. Until he fails this referendum. That's what he wants. He doesn't want the referendum to take place at all. Because he knows, as soon as the referendum, Kenyans say, we agree on BBI. Pass. That's the end of it. And they bring 50 to 40%. Let me tell you, my panel, there will be no reverse. It means the efforts will work, ethnicity will go away, unity will be implemented, 35% will go to the counties, everything will be delivered. The presidency, you can't talk about the presidency. You have to talk about collectiveness, leader of opposition. You have to elect, now in the next parliament, you must elect a leader who fails to garner the votes becomes the leader of opposition. You haven't seen that? You haven't seen that? Why were you waiting? Miriam, did you tell your panel that this is quietly the thing making the deputy president very, very uncomfortable. Because once the referendum passes through, a new dispensation comes in, and that new dispensation will benefit very many people. Yes, very many people will benefit. The 35%, what is it? What do you want? It has been sent to your account. What do you want from the central government? What? 35% of development. The central government now comes to supervise, to make sure there is no corruption in it. That's good money. That's good money for Garissa, good money for Wajir, good money for Isiolo, good money for Nakuru. Nakuru was the cleanest town in East Africa. Was the cleanest town in East Africa. The cleanest, and it could be awarded. If you go to Nakuru, County Council, you will find the trophies that Nakuru was given as the cleanest town in East Africa. That the Baindi, the mayor who was a Muindi there, if you drop rubbish on the street in Nakuru, they will tell you to pick it up. And you will be taken to court. Look at Nakuru today. Look at Nakuru. My friend Ngatia is there. Is Nakuru the same? No. So, in a nutshell, my panel, Yusuf Haji left a legacy. That's why he was sent to Nakuru. He disciplined. He changed Nakuru. He made, remember, Yusuf Haji was in Nakuru at a very, very trying time. I'll tell you why. Because most of you are younger people. There was the formation of Kenya, a movement, a movement to topple Moi. You remember? And he was the PC. You have never had anybody pointing a finger at the late Yusuf Haji that he undermined the people and made this family disappear. No, 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 no. No, that is a good person. That's a good person. Compare this person to your DP, your deputy president. Compare him with the DP. You would just not even want to discuss. That is it. Not all of us have gone. There is nobody in the world who is not a sinner. All of us are considered sinners before God, and we can only be judged by God. Professor Jared Wanyari will tell you so. We can be judged by God. We are all sinners. And that's my song I always sing. That in this world there is nobody who is not a sinner. It is only the blood of Jesus Christ that can wash you, that can make you and take you to God to be judged. So for me, I want to thank you, the panel. I want to thank Miriam about the topics. I've seen you have discussed quite a lot of topics regarding all these, a test for assemblies. There is one thing that I want you to take for me. We Africans, what bewitched us? What bewitched us Africans? What killed us? I've just told you one of the ethos. When you lend somebody money, when you come to ask for it, he tells you to go to court. Do we copy without scrutinizing? Do we copy things from the West without taking what is good and what is bad? That's the topic you can continue to discuss. Are we copying things that don't help us? Now we have in a society called many conference. I don't know whether Ngatia attended that. A many conference, a many conference medium. We have some things of that nature. Where did this thing of a many conference come from? I am aware that Karanja attended. So now, look at how stupid we are. Are we not really very stupid? Don't you sit in your seat and in Guinea, blame yourself why your skin is black? Do you know why the Bazungu create men's conference? Because they have a social contract with in their countries. What do you have? What do you have in Nakuru? What do you have in Nyanyuki? What do you have in Nairobi? We don't have a social contract.
Dr. Matsanga, in Kenya, there is no men's conference. This is just a thing, is a psych. It's just.
It's not, people wait
nothing
for
really. Not really. Don't be cheated. There's nowhere people meet for this thing. We just make fun out of it and send clips and stuff.
Where are we getting this? That has.
Of course, it's westernized.
No. Let me see. Where are we getting this? That we almost every man who disappeared from home yesterday was saying he was in a men's conference from Friday. Well, look at Miriam. I'm bringing this point to show how we waste a lot of time on unnecessary things. Oh, and when you tell a Mzungu that we wasted 2 good days on social media lying to people that there was a conference, to the extent that Mr. Karanja spent most of his time on social media, about 10 hours, telling us that this conference was taking place, and even taking pictures and putting them on the wall that we are eating meat at the men's conference. Hold on, I will call you later. Look at that psyche. Where are we heading as Africans? And then, to worsen this situation, you bring wheelbarrow. If you add a wheelbarrow with men's conference, where will the society, the generation be tomorrow? Where will the generation be? On that note, as a Pan-African station, Medium, I had some proverbs for you. And I would like to ask the production team to do me one favor and put those proverbs, 7 proverbs, as African, because this station has an obligation to teach Africans something that they should never forget. I have an obligation as an African to see. I don't know whether Nani has come, but those are some of the production team. Are you ready? Production team.
Yeah, they're ready.
Are they on Medium?
Yeah, they're ready. Yeah, I'm being told they're on.
Yes. Medium, you didn't get them.
They're on the screen right now. You can just go through them.
on the screen, because I don't have my screen up where I am here.
All right, they're scrolling down the screen there. I'm sure our viewers are reading through the African proverbs there by Dr. David Matsanga. And then after that, I'd like for us to just get back to the conversation where we had not completed, Doctor. We were looking at a certain subject there. So perhaps if you may allow us to do that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Medium in a basis, in a final analysis. Yusuf Haji was a great guy. A great guy, a great African, a great father, a great peacemaker, a great teacher, a great example, a great visionary, a man who could tell you as it is. And for the sake of BBI and for the sake of Kenyans, please, I ask you Kenyans to think deeply, give this man a befitting send-off wherever he has gone to rest with Allah. Vote BBI. Let it be voted so that there is a sense of remembrance. We remember him. Remember his good work. Remember the time, even when he was not feeling well, but he had to take pains on a plane, on boats, on the ship, on mountains, climb some areas to make sure that he lives a better Kenya. Today, a giant has gone. He has left a legacy, which we must keep on fighting for to preserve. I beg to move.
Very well.
Those are my condolences. Thank you, Miriam.
Okay, very well. Thank you so much. So let's just get back to what we were looking at on page 6 and 7 of the Standard newspaper. And on page 7, I think it's very important here, a government to distribute 10 million copies of BBI report. Kibicho says the government has produced over 10 million copies of the Building Bridges Initiative report for distribution to Kenyans. Interior Principal Secretary Karanja Kibicho has announced. Kibicho, who spoke on Saturday at Githudhini Primary School in Deer after the opening of 4 new classrooms, said the government wanted Kenyans to know what the report contains. So as the government, I think earlier they had said, you know, we cannot, after especially the that survey that Mr. Kenyatta carried out, saying only 20% of whoever he was interviewing were in support of the BBI. And we saw a lot of leaders coming out and saying it's very premature because the people of Kenya have not even gotten a chance to get the copies and read through and know what is in the content, and so decide based on information. So I think this is, I don't know, what do you make of this new development? Will it help in allowing people now to read by themselves or what is in the content there in the BBI? Engineer?
Well, I think this was supposed to have been done ages ago, but I think the government has its way of working, and getting copies out there to the people was supposed to have been done like yesterday. It's a good move. It will be seen as if it's another way of sanitizing the document in all the issues that we may have against it. But as I speak, I am one happy man because finally, we always fought the document because we lacked some information. There was no clarity on some issues. Due to the fact that there was no clarity, we suspected the document. The politicians had their way to ensure that people are more confused because anyway, they have a reason to claim that the government is hiding something. Well, really, there's nothing being hidden, you know? So all that might definitely come to an end once the document is out, because we will be referring to a particular number of articles or a particular issue that is printed. So I think I want to commend the government on that, and the sooner they're out, the better. But secondly, us, the elite, I would say, have already seen the document. We know what is in the document, and I want to believe I'm still getting to your answer on the printing of the documents. Mm-hmm. Am I right, Miriam?
Go ahead.
So I'm looking at the document, having read it and gone through it. The document is good for this country. Let's be honest. There are only a few things that maybe I would wish to have them tweaked, you know. But that said, we cannot push for the tweaking before everybody else understands what it is that we want tweaked. And I hope that once the document is out, as we discuss it, because this is our holy document as a country, then we will be able to have a sober discussion and look at what we can amend, you know, to make it better for everybody. Like what everybody says, like what the Tanga team is trying to use against the people, that is going to be a win-win. I mean, you don't make it a win-win and just confuse people on it, you know? I think it's a win-win when we have the issue on the table and we agree, this is not good for us, this is what is good for us, and let's make this document our reference point or our factory settings, you know? That's my take. I think I welcome the printing.
Okay, thank you so much, Engineer Victor Ngatia. They are joining us all the way from Nakuru, Kidi, because we know this is just one of the key things that DP and his camp has been hitting on the BBI report for. They're saying the government has not even made the document available to the people to read. So why are you forcing, those are the words they've been using, why are you forcing the people to vote on something that they have not even read? So this is a good opportunity. Are we likely to see sustained attacks from that perspective by the people opposed to the BBI now?
Definitely not. I mean, it's a plus. It's a plus. Let the document be out there. We shall all be happy, I'm telling you.
Very well. Thank you, Kidi.
But does it mean, let me ask one question, Miriam. Only one question. Does it mean this document, some places people are not got it?
Sorry?
A lot of people had not
got the copies?
Yes, a lot of people had not been able to get the copies because the copies we had, I think the government took its time and printed the abridged version of the report, the shortened version of the report on the dailies, I think one time on the Daily Nation and the Standard newspaper, but that was just one time, and we know majority of Kenyans don't buy the paper, so we assume a lot of Kenyans are not able to get a copy of that. So now I think the government will print the whole BBI report so that Kenyans can access the same way they did the Constitution in 2010.
I am looking for my copy, which I carried in the briefcase.
Yeah, a lot of Kenyans, Doctor, don't have that copy. So I think that is when the government now wants to make it available.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, fine. Then you see, before the panel comes, there is something. Originally, these copies were supposed to be printed. What happened? They were supposed to be in huge numbers. And this goes back to, we have to be very fair, that at times we become enemies of ourselves. You get my point? These copies should be with the Karanjas on the streets, with the Kirimis in the car. You drop 2 here, 3 there 10. Drop them. So that let the people get it. Say refuse, but then they have it. A man who has a copy in his house will not fail to vote, yes or no. But a man who doesn't have a copy will as well stay at home. Mm-hmm. You know, we need to make sure that that this referendum passes the international standards of whatever. Yes, you must pass the 40%. You get my point? So I am happy if the PS has realized now quickly to run to get this. We need these copies, not only 10, 20 million. Print them. The money was allocated for this purpose. Am I wrong? So don't make the president's work very difficult. Those who are in charge of this PBI production, please make sure that more and more copies go out so that the people read. Let the people, you know, when you have this PBI on that day of the voting, the document in you and you have read, you will just go. There are good things inside there. There are good things, very many. 3/4, 98% of that BBI has got very sweet things. Of course, they cannot lack one or two that you can contest against. So that we avoid this unnecessary tension which is coming in the country. Because the deputy, who doesn't know that the BBI could benefit him even more. In fact, if I were Ruto, I would keep quiet and we pass this thing very comfortably. Whichever method you go, even if you want to change it to parliamentary, you are still in the race. Even if you refuse, you are still in the race. So what do you lose? Nothing. Come, accept it. Have you seen that? Accept it.
I think the Umururu is what...
Omururu. I don't know whether media has got the meaning of Omururu.
Anyway.
Somebody to be gluttonous.
Yes.
Greedy. Yes, greedy. Because if the DP fails, if the DP agrees with the BBI, he still remains the candidate. He will remain the candidate of whichever party he has chosen. And if he says he has so many people that even the Angel Gabriel sent some to help him, fine, they see on the ballot. But don't bring a contentious, very disturbing referendum which is now breaking people's homes, breaking families, tribes, communities, you know. Baringo is one community which is now in chaos. The Baringo, you see the war in Baringo of words. You can't even step your foot there. Because of the behavior of people not understanding that the BBI is a very good document. So I'm happy if they have increased the 10 million, let them increase them to 20 million copies. Thank you.
All right, Kidi, you were to speak.
Kidi is not there, Miriam.
All right, Douglas, go ahead.
Thank you, Miriam. And also, as a people of the Republic of Kenya, we need to understand that the BBI had not reached a point where BBI tours and also distribution of these materials would have gone to the people. Remember, for people like Kenyatta who have shown us true that their political interest and also their political persuasions and also directions matter more than the lives of Kenyans. Instead of messing up around Mount Kenya region, he would have called for a press conference from his Kiaro backyard with the 27 people that he was accompanied with when he wrote that letter. He would have said that as far as I'm concerned now, I no longer want to be majority whip in Senate. My car should be taken, the privileges should be taken, and I need to become to Tangatanga so that he can go and also his friend Deputy President William Ruto opposing the BBI report instead of sabotaging it and also tagging over 11 counties, over 6 million voters who in the next, when the registration of voters will be done, will be over 10 million voters. These over 10 million voters should not be battled, should not have been battled in that pattern and that train of Virungu Kenyatta. And we are waiting for these BBI tours so that we can go and educate our people on matters BBI, distribute the booklet so that the people can be able to decide, including the WACO draft of 2005 and 2010 constitution. The documents were not available immediately. There was a time, allocated time, when the document would circulate to the people so that people can be able to read for themselves. So I'm imploring on government to take this document to the people in the honor of the man, the propagator of the BBI process, the steward of the BBI process, and a steward himself, Senator Yusuf Haji, the good senator for Garissa. May God rest his soul in peace, and also so that the people of Kenya will have an opportunity to interrogate the document that a man of peace, a peacemaker himself, Senator Yusuf Haji, and an opportunity to interrogate as a former provincial commissioner and also as a former senator and also as a leader in this nation, a minister of defense, a man who defended our country and the integrity of our sovereignty, of our sovereign state, the Republic of Kenya. a man whose tenure, the internal security was carried, and a man whose tenure as an internal minister was that of a man who loved his country and protected his people against external and internal aggression, and also so that the people of Kenya will have an opportunity to interrogate this document and vote for it, because it is bringing a lot of good things to the people of Kenya, especially Mount Kenya region, that the Deputy President William Ruto has come here every weekend. He is doing fundraisings as if there are no fundraisings in other counties in this nation. He has come here when we need 53.5 billion shillings streaming through the BBI process. People across Mount Kenya and other parts of the country need to read that and see what is coming to their region, versus the wheelbarrow politics, versus politics of retrogression and also backwardness. We don't want to be taken back where we used to beg the national government for the national distribution of resources to counties. We want that being entrenched in the constitution. Weka hiyo kwa katiba.
Okay, sawa. Jevan Karanja, this will give people an opportunity to get a chance to read for themselves, as Kibicho there said, and ultimately make an informed decision when it comes to a point where Kenyans shall be going to the referendum.
Thank you. And I agree that we have the soft copies in our phones, and a lot of people who have gone through the system of education have gone through the document, but there have still been calls to take this document to a larger percentage of Kenyans, and that copies, 10 million copies, will do magic in terms of people getting these copies. But Miriam, we still have people who not understand the English language. Therefore, it will be wise if this copy will be given to youths or the young people to distribute when they educate these people, because there have been a lot of noise, especially from those people against the BBI. They come up with articles that are not in the BBI. They bring a lot of confusion. And when they come and they speak to the language that the Kenyans understand most, they tend to agree that that is the truth. And that is why you see people disagreeing with the BBI, not because of the contents, but because of the noise that have been going around, because of the hearsay and a lot of misconception and misinformation that has been going around, especially from the camp that supports the Deputy President. Therefore, it is high time that even if, as we are taking this copy to Kenyans, we also make sure that we have the right people to educate them. And we have seen it coming through our national televisions, our local radio stations. They are doing it. They're trying to open the eyes of Kenyans. And Miriam, that is why you see, even in regions like Mount Kenya region, where Irungu Kenyatta was telling us only 20% of Mount Kenya people will support the document. Today, when you go around the town, when you go to Nyeri, you see people, they are having this conversation. When you meet 10 people seated, 20 people seated down somewhere eating some mandazi and chai, they start discussing this issue and they talk points, and you hear them. They are now coming understanding one by one what this BBI is, because now they are able to see the light. Therefore, the government has done a lot, especially in advocating the BBI through the radio stations. Therefore, that one is a good thing. And if even this under these copies, we also do a lot of things, ensuring that a lot of people get this copy, because there has been one thing: the people who don't support the BBI, especially the Tanga group, they've been saying that this document is in Nairobi. We have not seen it. Even a member of parliament saying they have not read the document shows that some Kenyans are still ignorant. But well said, all said and done. Kibicho is doing a good job. Let the document come to the people. Let it trickle down. Let people read and interrogate, read, and have a comprehension of what the BBI is, so that when we go to vote, Kenyans will make a wise decision based on the understanding, based on the contents of the BBI, rather than the noise that is being made by those who don't support the BBI. Maybe there are some people who support the BBI and they're exaggerating some things. Therefore, Kenyans will see and demystify the facts, and they have truth. Therefore, that is the best thing with these copies. And I hope Kenyans will make a wise decision. And as we did it with the 2010, the same people who are opposing the 2010 Katiba are the same people who are opposing it now, the church, the civil society, and the deputy president. And we won in 2010. Therefore, I don't expect a lot of things, because at the end of the day, Kenyans, through the free education 202 by President Kibaki, the people who started it in 202, today they are eligible voters. Therefore, a lot of people will be able to understand and make a wiser decision. Therefore, Therefore, we are looking forward to have a successful BBI process. And at the end of the day, I wish the person will be made to implement, the person will be at the helms of implementation of this document. That is where our attention should be, because at the end of the day, we may have a good document, but if we fail to have a good person implement the document, then we are not heading in the right direction. Therefore, we should make sure that we pass the document and we elect the right people to implement the document as complete as it is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, Professor, we've seen a lot of misinformation being peddled when it comes to the BBI because a lot of these people did not get an opportunity to get their hands on the copy and read for themselves. So with the giving out of making these copies available to the common mananchi there, what do you think is the key misinformation that perhaps this document will help clarify that a lot of our politicians have been going out there misinforming Kenyans on what it really is in the BBI?
Miriam, BBI is not a one event thing. It is a process. You know where we have started. Miriam, even if copies were being made 1 year ago or 6 months ago, of what purpose will it serve? What will it serve, Miriam, honestly? I have said that BBI is a process, Miriam. Views were corrected, correlated, launched, validated. The bill has been made. We have corrected the signatures, Miriam. Now it is in the counter assemblies. And then from the counter assemblies, Miriam, it will go to Parliament and the Senate, National Assembly and the Senate, Miriam. And then it will come to the people, whereby they will get a document, they will go through it, Miriam, they will be educated. That's how it becomes a process. That's where we are heading, Miriam. So I'm seeing that the stone which started rolling has continued to gather momentum, and that's where we are. So those ones who were expected BBI to the copies to be given 6 months ago, of what purpose will it do it, Miriam? But Miriam, let me tell you for one, it is not only that the Kenyans have not seen this document. There is no survey or any research which has been carried to see how many Kenyans have this document and don't have document. In fact, Miriam, when a member of parliament, our old member of parliament, our old deputy president of our country, Miriam, says that he has not seen the document, what kind of dishonest is that, Miriam? So, Miriam, it is the duty of the government to ensure that all Kenyans get these documents, and once they get the document, Miriam, civic education will be carried the shortest time possible, Miriam, and then we will have the document passed. And in fact, that's where we are headed. Miriam, do you want to tell me that 4.5 million Kenyans would have signed the document without knowing what the document is talking about? So the Tanga people, as Engineer Gata was trying to say, they are distorting all the information, and it is the duty of the government to come out and tell people, guys, the document they are talking about, we don't know it, but this is the document. And I think the PS for internal security, Engineer Kibicho, is very much in order.
All right. Thank you so much, Professor Nyari. Thank you, Dr. David Matanga from the Political Command Center. Thank you, Douglas Kirimi. Thank you, Javan Karanja, and of course, Kidi Mwaga, who left the conversation a bit earlier there. And very well, thank you, Engineer Victor Ngatia there from Nakuru. And thank you, our viewers, for watching. Well, we did not get an opportunity to look at the rest of our headlines this morning, but on the Daily Nation quickly, Deputy President says he won't resign, but will instead make peace with President Kenyatta after the planned constitutional change referendum is concluded later. this year, and also MPs seek to block weekends in cells there. And yes, so those are just some of the things that we did not get an opportunity to look at. And also stop criticizing government from within, Ruto tells Raila. So that is a conversation that maybe we shall continue having tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Right now, I will take us right to Kisii, where Simeon Nyachae's funeral service, the late, is underway. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later.